Alright, hey guys, happy 12/12/12. A little over a week away from the apocalypse. What a joke that's gonna be. I'm gonna wake up the next morning and laugh at the world. But, um, yeah, I know it's been quick. I haven't done them. I did a video, I think, last week? Maybe? Yeah, the two videos I did last week. But this is a different video. Because I went to Toys R Us and wasn't expecting to buy anything. And I've been looking for the Voyagers, the first edition Voyagers that were supposed to be re-released this year. And you know what? I am the happiest 25-year-old man alive today. That's right. I have the first edition Prime. And oh my god. I know a lot of people were griping about this dude, but no. Sure, there's a gap issue on the front of the hood there because it doesn't peg in solidly, and the cab doesn't sit down. It doesn't peg in anywhere. And the weapon, and I have a little bit of deformation on the sword. If you look closely, it's raised up a bit, but that's okay. You know, a little movement and it'll be fine. And so that's the sword. Put this off to the side. It is a sword. It's nice. It's the bendy plastic, but it feels a little bit more solid than some of the other bendy plastics we've gotten. Like, see, Bludgeon and Banzaitron swords, or even GDO Megatron swords. Those are flimsy. This seems a little solid. The only, like other reviewers, the only gripe I have is the placement of the blade. I mean, you peg it into his hand. Let's say his hand is this way. If you peg it in this way, he's got to slash up with every shot. But it's a nice Energon blue. And it's nicely detailed. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's got very good details in it. I like all the rivets and the cuts and all that. As I drop it. And the gun. Done in a gunmetal gray with silver flecks in it. I think it looks nice. Just a matter of getting the this color blue to paint this up with, which I will hopefully do at some point. This is an option I didn't notice that anyone else mentioned on the first one. But look at underneath his gun there. There's that whole section. I have an idea, and I think it works. Gun with a bayonet. It's silly, but it's there. Yeah, those are the weapons. Okay. Now let's augment the camera. Sorry for my gut. And the blackout. Size comparison wise. Here's the RID. Here's the first edition. It's hard to do it on camera because my camera is built into my computer. So I'll have to bring it back up here. So, like I said, RID, first edition. Definite change. Definite difference in both of them. And there's their height. First edition is definitely taller in this mode, but only by a little. And on the RID, I have, like I showed in the previous video, all the repro labels applied. He is up for sale. This guy, the RID is up for sale. I'm trying to get some money in. I don't want this figure anymore. I only bought him as a placeholder for him. And, you know, he's got the repro labels, he's got the instructions, he's got the weapons. You know, crappy little Energon glow weapon. Still works. Effie, Powerizer. And the sword, still intact, no paint, first edition sword. Yeah. So, RID is up for grabs. $15, private message me. So, I'm going to go and show you how to transform him. Now, my biggest concern is these smokestacks, and I'll show you why. They come straight off, and they're made of the same bendy plastic, but they come off. There's the two holes and that peg on the side of the cab there, that peg, and they go into those two pegs and that slot. Now in truck mode, they hold on fine. But when you start to pull this out, this is the beginning of the transformation, you start pulling this out, and they're only held in by those two pegs, and those pegs are, I think, are a little too small for the holes they go in, but I'll get into that in a bit. Yeah. So, go back, put them back down, force things in. Transformation start, pull the top of the cab, up and off, and then come down to the obvious legs. You want to, before you do that, you want to pull them up and on here, the trailer hitch, lift it off a bit, split the legs, hold the trailer hitch in, bring the front of the legs down like so, and then as you can see there's his feet in there. Just unfold them, and the cab becomes his heels, so he has a very good place to stand on. And then what you do is kind of get it into a backwards girl walk. Backwards girl walk with like chicken legs. Next, pull the bottom part of the smokestack pieces out to the side like I did before. Up and out. Then come to the front. You unpeg the grill sections, lift them up, and what I do is I lift them fully up, so they're kind of like this. And then what you do here, you take the forearms. Come on! Unpeg them from beneath the windshield. It's hard to, yeah, right in there, yeah. There's a little hole in the windshield, right up here, that allows you to plug this tab into, when you're pulling that out. You swing that down, and what I do is then I split apart the arms, and up comes the head. You take the upper sections of the back of the cab, swing them onto his back, before you do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hold on. So as you can see, his waist is that way. So if I bring this up a bit, bring up the false chest a bit, I actually can swing around the front swing the waist around so it sits forward. Then you collapse those back panels in against his back. You just swing the smokestack pieces out of the way. Bring the wheels into his back so those gray pieces swing there. Then you just bring up those. Those sit there on the back. Come around to the front, and this is where it gets really tricky, because it's like you have to force both pieces of a false windshield into a position where they'll peg the shoulders in, and the shoulders just peg into the open wheel wells on that folded up on there. So there's a hole right there where the rivet is to hold the wheel in, and on the shoulder there's a little circular peg. The circular peg, if you can get it right, if you force it, you gotta really do a lot of finessing with this to get it to sit right, because it doesn't like to. This thing gets very finicky, and I'm trying to finesse it to the point where, oh, there we go. I didn't realize this, but those same slots up front that this peg goes into, has a secondary peg down here. This little gray peg fits in that same slot on the chest, and it's just a matter of getting it in the hole so that you can peg the shoulder in. And though it doesn't hold perfectly, it holds. I didn't even notice this when I first got them out of the box, which is a fail on my part. And you take the shoulders, spin them around 360, and in package he is mistransformed. These are down. Slide them up like so they're out of the way. Then you take the forearm panel, swing that forward, drop the hand down. I don't know if we can drop the hand down. Then you just bend the truck piece around the forearm. And then you spin the hand around at the bicep swivel. Spin it around at the bicep swivel. Like so. Then you rotate the hand so it's in place. And there we have it. First edition Prime in robot mode. And I absolutely love this figure. He's tall. He's definitely a lot taller than the Powerizer Megatron, which unfortunately I don't have with me right now. I'm downstairs in my kitchen, where usually I film in my bedroom. And he's a kind of a bastard to stand up, because he wants to lean to one side. So there he is, standing in his glory. I'm going to go off and just quickly transform the other guy, because I don't have the ability to cut screen. Transformers are the counterpart, which has a lot more kibble in my mind. Sorry for the cough. I've had a residual cough and a slight case of bronchitis, so I am taking medicine for that, so hopefully that'll go away. Take the arms from each other. I don't really transform this guy as often as I think I should. Well, as I know I should. but that's beside the point. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. Okay, here's the side to side. This is taking forever, but okay. Here's the side to side. I definitely prefer first edition over him because I'm not keen on the light blue forearms, and there's a lot of paint apps. Even though there's a lot of paint apps missing from first edition, it doesn't take more than a bit of paint to fix them up, like neck area, waist area, upper arms and hands. That shouldn't take long. And yeah, size comparison, I don't mind. I don't mind the RID. It's just that I don't want him. I never wanted him to begin with. But okay. Articulation wise, head on a swivel, but it's got a little forward and back movement, side to side, full 360. Shoulders on this long swivel. They go out. You can raise the shoulder pad up to about there, so you can get about that much range of motion. Again, the forearm swivel, a nice over 90-degree elbow swing, and rotating wrists. That is my cat, if you heard her. The waist kind of locks in place, but you can get and it kind of looks goofy if you turn him. But I don't ever pose him. The legs are on a nice ball joint. You got knee swivel instead of the upper leg swivel. You've got a big old 90-degree kick range, and for some reason the shin guards don't like pegging in, but you've got forward and back leg motion, no side to side. I got him for about $25 at Toys R Us. It was the first time I've ever seen him in stores, this year. My friend is going to be getting me the bulkhead, so I didn't have to pay for it. That's going to be for Christmas. I'll show him off when I get him. And as I just did, I am going to show you the weapons in hand, the gun and the sword, and both peg him down enough that it hides his hand, and I love that. Gives it definitely the TV show aspect, where his hand is completely hidden, or his hand turns into the weapons, which is nice. And yeah, here's my little gripe. That shin pad does not really hold too well against the shins. Maybe it's mine, maybe it's how I'm doing it, I don't know, but most of the time they just sit. I didn't notice about the inside of his leg. This inside versus that inside. To make it perfect, to make it more symmetrical, they added a fake trailer hitch on this side, which is nice. But that's about all I have to say, because my cat is getting into something. So this is Greg signing off, and stay frosty, guys.